The king is back! I know you guys missed me. No, listen. Hear me out. I have some excuses, you know. It was finals week. I just been mad lazy, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't uploaded in like over a week. These videos take so long to make, but I know. I'm being lazy. I need to get back in my grind. But today we have season 1 finale of Fate Zero, continuing the Fate series review, reaction, commentary, whatever you think this is. As long as you're entertained, that's all that matters. But without further ado, alright, so boom. Episode 10 starts off with this little girl trying to do magic and she fails miserably. Then she starts crying like a... Then her dad shows up and we see is nobody other than Tokiomi. Then we get a glimpse of what happens to me when I leave the house. I get wedgies, wet willies, they take my lunch money. Alright, be honest, I know this is how they be doing some of y'all in school. They take turns smacking you in the back of the head. You don't do nothing about it. Oh, y'all are too funny. So Rin, which is the daughter, tells them to hit me like that. Oh, alright. That's what I thought. Scram, you knuckleheads. So we learn that she's being sent away for his safety, but one day, she wants to fight in the Grail War. Hold your horses. Maybe one day you can mess with the big dogs. That was cringe. If only you can see what I look like making these videos. Then Rin starts touching stuff she has no business touching and summons the ghost of Davy Jones. Then her father saves her and we see the whole school is panicking because kids are getting kidnapped. I'm not gonna lie, this part had me bamboozled. Why is this little girl going to the city where kids are getting kidnapped at night by herself? These kids these days, I don't know, man. So her father gives her this tool that allows her to read magic, and we find out why she's there, to look for her friend. I don't know if she thought she was Superman or Spider-Man or something, but... Alright, so she sees EDP, and she does a big brain IQ move and follows him, hoping that he leads her to her friend, and guess what? She finds her friend! Unfortunately, this wasn't a happy ending, because he shows up. And let me tell you something. I knew he was a weirdo. He says, "What have we here?" Who still talks like that? She finds out that he's controlling all the kids with this bracelet, and she breaks his bracelet. Now listen, that's the equivalent of snatching his chain. Me personally, if I was him, I wouldn't let her snatch my chain, but you do you, I guess. Alright, so her reader senses a huge power level. Maybe even like a quarter of mine. Like, this thing is strong. And then she gets smacked in the face by a whole bunch of dirt and worms. My bad, I'm just telling you as I see it, bro. Then her mom shows up and she's devastated and finds her sleeping on a park bench. And then this ugly dude shows up and he talks about his motives and stuff. Then it ends off with some self-evaluation. And yeah, that's it. And then episode 11 begins with the meeting amongst so-called kings. I like this little thing that you do, like, what's a true king? Now, me personally, I think a king leads. Like, if you're sitting back telling your goons, go do this, go do that, you're not a king. You gotta be out there on the front lines, catching bodies like Leonidas. Matter of fact, forget Leonidas. Like me. So they start talking about the Holy Grail, and it starts to get a little heated, but then guess who shows up? The definition of disrespect. Alright, so all the so-called kings agree for a drink, and then Archer tastes that hot dog water and he gives them some rosé. Alright, so Archer thinks he's Debo. He says if you want the Holy Grail, you gotta get my permission because I own it. Like, who does he think he is? But there may be some truth to that, because remember how rigged this whole thing is? They literally said, make sure that Archer wins or something like that. I forgot. But man, we need to start a protest or something, bro. And then she gets eviscerated. That's your age terminology, but he goes in depth. He's like, you never led your people. You let them die. You didn't show them what it was like to be a true leader. He just violated her. And then, worst of all, he calls her a little girl. Think of the difference in stature levels from what she refers to herself as, a king, and what he just called her, a little girl. Now listen, me as a king, I wouldn't let nobody talk like that, you know what I'm saying? See, where I'm from, those are fighting words. Should be some sort of tussle going on here. So as they're having their little barbecue, a swarm of assassins show up. And there can be 3 possible reasons they're there. Reason A, they want a plate. Reason 2, trying to shake some, you know. Or reason 3, they're trying to fight. I don't know, reason 2 sounds. So then this dude Ryder literally takes all of them into a genjutsu, and he has the entire Spartan lineup at his command. And then they get ready to fight the assassins. They just start smoking them, but then he stops. I think he was just trying to show like how strong he is. Just a little teaser. He was honestly just trying to show them that he's him, and then it ends off just like that. Alright, so we learn that Ryder is way stronger than expected, and then we learn that they also want Archer to kill all the enemies. They love riding this man's golden nutsacks. I'm curious if he's the most powerful the way they've been talking about him. Alright, so I enjoyed this part because we get like mini updates of what everybody's doing. I want to be quiet and let you guys watch what everybody's doing, get updated real quick. I'll be back in a good 30 seconds. Enjoy.
時を見は穴熊を決め込ん魔導のマスターは見るからに無防備でロードエルメロイは再起不能のはずだがランサーは脱落していないマスターの居所は依然として不明だが昨夜もまた市内で数名のライダーは常にマスターともども飛行フォークで移動するため追跡が困難
アサシンは完全消滅したと思っていいのでは
ではその魔がなぜだなぜ僕を狙う
Alright, so Kirei and Archer start discussing what happens to the command seals under different circumstances. Then they start talking about how Assassin found out everybody's motives for the Holy Grail and why they're fighting. Then we cut to a new scene for a brief intermission, but we do come back to this conversation. Alright, so Saber and Homunculus Girl, I don't know how to pronounce her name, my bad. They get their own base. Alright, so Saber notices that all day the Homunculus Girl hasn't been touching anything, and then she shakes her hand and she's actually super weak. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is how some of y'all would shake my hand, but you would pee on yourself in the process. Alright, so we finally learned everybody's motives for the Grail, so I'm gonna put my thinking cap on and dissect this into simple terms. Alright, I'm gonna speedrun this bit, you ready? Alright, so Lancer and Ryder's Master, they just want to say that they won the war. They just want bragging rights. Then Castor's Master doesn't even know what the Grail is. He just wants to kidnap kids and kill people. And then Berserker's Master just wants power. Alright, so episode 12 ends off with Gilgamesh calling out Kirei's hands. And he says if you want to fight me, you're going to need a stronger servant and you're going to have to steal someone's servant. At last. Episode 13, the season finale, we're here. I just want to thank God, I want to thank my mom, I want to thank my dad, my siblings, my granddad. We did it! This is the final episode of season 1. Can I get a round of applause? Alright, suck my... Alright, so episode 13 starts off with these two throwing a temper tantrum because they think somebody ruined their art. What is their art, you ask? Killing kids, kidnapping people, murdering, stealing, robbing. Alright, so they start talking about God and entertainment, and they think that God likes suffering and pain and blood and all that, and he says cause the detail and color of people's guts and stuff. And then Castor gets this sick, twisted idea. He wants to show God that they know what entertainment is too. Oh, brother. Good evening, class. I can't hear you. I said good evening, class. Welcome to History 101 with Professor. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna include this part, but I thought it was cool because he is Alexander the Great. His character is Alexander the Great, and I didn't know that. Alright, so I did a little research for this, and you know how his name is Iskandar, whatever his name is? That literally means Alexander. It says Iskandar is a variant of the given name Alexander in cultures such as Iran, Arabia, and others throughout the Middle East. Also noticed his main goal is to take over literally everywhere. Same as Alexander the Great. He wanted to take over the world. Aha. But I didn't really research if like other characters are based on other people. I remember in the comments of a earlier video, somebody told me that like the characters are based on real life historical figures. But I can't figure out like who else. Alright, it's been real. That was History 101 with Professor R. Be honest, if I was your teacher, you would come to school every single day. Alright, so these two are talking about their chemistry, and I kind of think they're like breaking up. Alright, so we see Castor finally executing his plan for entertainment. And he gets absorbed by this giant monster. I don't even know what this thing is, bro, but it sucks him up real good. Alright, so they all decide to make a peace treaty, and they're about to give Castor the Pain and Jiraiya treatment. Bro, the animation for this ending scene got it. But you know what really caught my attention? Look at the detail on this tentacle. I was like, is this anime or is this National Geographic? Nigga, this is beauty. But it ends off just like this. We'll pick up on season 2. Alright, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It's free.